Besides costs, we have sustainability. Sustainability is going to be a bigger issue as this market progresses, specifically because of the internet and because, it's just the way that things have to talk, or the way things have to go, or progress, I should say. So, is your cultivation and business plan sustainable concerning things like market trends, like your flavor of the month, indoor versus outdoor, and organic versus salts, salt growers, I should say. And when I mean a sustainable business plan, I mean if you're just growing this hype strain because somebody's doing it, or somebody's talking about it, like what happens when everybody else starts growing it? This indoor versus outdoor thing is a really big issue also, because right now the marketplace is, as much as I hate it, and I've done both, and I really enjoy both. But the market wants pretty shit. But I think it's only because they're not educated enough to realize that a lot of this stuff grown indoors, actually all of it, to be honest, just cannot reach the potential of outdoor cannabis for quality. And by quality, I don't mean aesthetics, as in the way that it looks. I mean what it does, the terpenes present, the various ratios, and the high, the taste. Like, people forget why the fuck you're smoking it. I don't even think that's an opinion. I think it's a fact. It just, I mean, fuck, even people don't do well when they're just subject to staying inside all day. Like, they start changing colors and they start losing melanin and shit. And so it's like, I guess, I get it. It's pretty. And trust me, some of those THC numbers really do soar. But right now, we're finding out that it's not all about THC. It's all about, the synergistic effect and the presence of certain terpenes in various ratios combined with other terpenes in various ratios are creating the effects that we want. And THC is almost like a what's a good way to describe it? It's almost like the water on a water slide. It gets you there, but it's also, or maybe it's just the speed in which that it gets you there, if that makes sense, opposed to the ride. So actually, here's a better way of describing it. Like a Lamborghini and a shitty ass Honda could both go 80 miles an hour. That would be the THC. The terpene, the high, all of that would be the interior. How are you getting there, though? Do you enjoy it? Can you hear the radio? That's why I think there's just a lack of education. And I think, and again, I say I think because that it is. This is obviously my opinion, but I still believe it's fact. Because I think once education happens, the only way to go is towards outdoor, sustainable product. Indoor is always going to be a focus because it's pretty and that represents, corporate America. But it's just when it comes down to cost, and especially when it becomes globally acceptable again and all the production moves down to Mexico, and then that's a whole other story. So your price point, again, right now that there's shitty weed out there going for $25 a pound. There's also really good weed still. It's going for $3,000. A lot of it is really just cost to actually make the product, but even so, I mean, indoor, to my understanding, is still only cost, like a couple $100 to manufacture a pound. Outdoor, again, we're talking, $20 to $50, depending on, what you're using. So it's really not that much of a cost difference, but it just commands a higher price. It is pretty. That's about it. Now, obviously, your environment. a lot of people for some reason haven't really been looking into, I guess, their environment as part of their business plan. Are you growing in Tornado Alley? Are you growing in a floodplain? Are you trying to grow in a desert? Other things like using chemicals in places that have really high nitrate contents, or really high phosphate runoff. Things like that are definitely issues, especially with the internet now. And I keep stressing this because the cannabis industry will not allow you to succeed if you're a dick. Everybody gets put on the internet now, and if you're deceitful, they will find out.